Welcome to News9 Live and you are watching On Point. Let me begin with the first On Point. Rahul Gandhi became the leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, a first LoP of the House in 10 years. Rahul Gandhi becomes the leader of the opposition in the 18th Lok Sabha, a first LoP of the House in 10 years. As a leader of the opposition, this will be Rahul Gandhi's first big job. He will be occupying a constitutional post that will have a major say in the functioning of the House. In the previous two Lok Sabha terms, Congress was the largest opposition party, but it did not have the requisite numbers to claim the position of LoP.
आपके चेयर है, आप संभालें प्लीज।
Now let me play out the bite of Rahul Gandhi, the man of the moment.
Speaker sir, I'd like to congratulate you for your successful election. For the second time that you have been elected, I'd like to congratulate you on behalf of the entire opposition, on behalf of the India Alliance. Speaker sir, this House represents the voice of India's people. And you, Speaker sir, are the final arbiter of that voice. Of course, the government has political power, but the opposition also represents the voice of India's people. And this time, the opposition represents significantly more voice of the Indian people than it did last time. Speaker sir, the opposition would like to assist you in doing your work. We would like the House to function often and well. Speaker sir, it is very important that cooperation happens on the basis of trust. It is very important that the voice of the opposition is allowed to be represented in this House. I'm confident that you will allow us to represent our voice, allow us to speak, allow us to represent the voice of the people of India. Speaker sir, the question is not how efficiently the House is run. The question is how much of India's voice is being allowed to be heard in this House. So the idea, Speaker sir, that you can run the House efficiently by silencing the voice of the opposition is a non-democratic idea. And this election has shown that the people of India expect the opposition to defend the constitution, the Samvidhan of this country. And we are confident that by allowing the opposition to speak, by allowing us to represent the people of India, you will do your duty of defending the constitution of India. I'd like to once again congratulate you, Speaker sir, and also all the members of the House who have won their election. Thank you very much.
Opposition bloc leader congratulated Rahul Gandhi and said that he is the right choice to represent the opposition's voice in the parliament. Let me play out those bites of congratulations.
उसके बाद बोलेंगे उनको बधाई और विपक्ष को साथ लेकर के चलें।
बड़ी खुशी की बात है कि कांग्रेस वर्किंग कमेटी का जो सर्वसम्मति से प्रस्ताव था, जो हम लोगों ने राहुल गांधी जी को आग्रह किया था वर्किंग कमेटी ने, उस आग्रह को उन्होंने स्वीकार किया और कांग्रेस पार्लियामेंट्री पार्टी की चेयरपर्सन सोनिया गांधी जी ने राहुल गांधी जी को नमोनित किया है नेता प्रतिपक्ष के रूप में। राहुल गांधी जी के लीडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन बनने से न सिर्फ कांग्रेस में, कांग्रेस कार्यकर्ताओं में, लेकिन पूरा विपक्ष, समूचा जो इंडिया अलायंस है, सभी लोगों में एक ऊर्जा का संचार हुआ है। राहुल गांधी जी ने लगातार इस सरकार को चुनौती दी है, पारदर्शिता की लड़ाई लड़ी है, लोगों की आवाज बनने का काम किया है, संसद के अंदर और संसद के बाहर। आज जब वो नेता प्रतिपक्ष बने हैं तो उससे विपक्ष की उम्मीदें और बड़ी हैं।
We in the Congress Working Committee had unanimously resolved that he should take up this position. He had taken some time to confirm it, but now that he has done it, I think it's a very good gesture because he's very clearly the most prominent opposition leader in the country, and this is fitting that he should occupy this position.
Rahul Gandhi will be part of every important panel meeting to choose heads of key agencies such as CBI and Enforcement Directorate. This will be a big boost for the opposition, and it has been accused Bharatiya Janata Party of not allowing the opposition to have a say on these matters because the House never had a leader of opposition. They had a leader of the largest party in Lok Sabha. As an LoP, he will have the right to intervene, and he would be allowed the time by the chair. As per the norm, he will have to face off with Modi on most crucial issues. Prime Minister Modi has often referred to Rahul as a Shehzada of the Congress, but now he becomes the public approved opponent of Modi government in parliament. This is the big difference. Let me introduce Brijesh Pandey and Nikhil Jain, political and activist in this discussion. Brijesh, tell me, isn't this the biggest difference? This time he will not be squaring off with Shehzada. This time he will be squaring off with a politician who has got the mandate from public to be the leader of the largest opposition party in 3 digits.
Well, Kartikeya, I would say that ever since the start of Bharat Jodo Yatra, it has come full circle for Rahul Gandhi, you know, from being lampooned as Pappu or being jeered by senior BJP leaders as Shehzada or the entitled person. Now he has come off a long way. And I think we will see a lot more combative, a lot more measured Rahul Gandhi as far as this 18th Lok Sabha seat is concerned. He is going to be the primary opponent of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in this 18th election. And mind you, we have been discussing, that we have covered the entire election in great detail. Kartikeya, this is perhaps the only election where the Prime Minister was not able to set his narrative. And unwittingly, it was the narrative started by the India Alliance, which had the BJP on the mat.
Okay, fair enough. Nikhil, so this time, Prime Minister is not going to square off with a Shehzada. Prime Minister is going to square off with a person who has now a mandate to which he has played an instrumental role. Not an inheritor of 2014, not a defeated candidate of 2019, someone who just didn't get the election right, but someone who revived the Congress party.
Kartikeya, absolutely. And I don't agree with the argument that Prime Minister was battling against the Shehzada in 2014 to 24. Whether Rahul Gandhi was the leader of opposition or not, fact of the matter is that for a very long time, at least since 2014,
at that point of time, he was perceived as a Shehzada because in campaign, I was in the rally, Kanpur rally, he used to call him Shehzada. The point is, it's about narratives. Now, in the difference is, my question is, what is the difference? Whom is he squaring off against? Someone who has inherited something or someone who has revived a party? My argument
is... earned it.
And earned it. I think that's where the difference is. Today, Rahul Gandhi has earned his place.
No, see, I have never agreed with the inheritance argument. At the end of the day, Rahul Gandhi has been elected to the Lok Sabha 4 consecutive times, and now it was the 5th time. Certainly, Rahul Gandhi, as a political leader, as an opposition leader, his might and clout has grown substantially since the Bharat Jodo Yatra, and these election results are the proof of that. Very often in Indian politics, there is a saying that Delhi ka rasta Lucknow se jata hai. The party who wins in Uttar Pradesh wins in the national elections. However, this time around, the trends have been slightly different. But the interesting fact that I'd like to tell you viewers is that a CSDS survey recently found out that 36% of the people in UP, the preferred prime ministerial choice for them was Rahul Gandhi, while Narendra Modi was only for 32%. Now, whether he was a Shehzada earlier or not, whether he was an inheritor earlier or not, one thing that is, I think, without dispute and without question today is that he's earned his place, he's led the opposition, he's led the India Alliance, he's been able to craft the narrative that he wanted. and he is going to give Narendra Modi a very tough fight in the coming 5 years.
Okay.
And the position of the leader of opposition, the formal position of that, I think it will certainly help his
Okay, so that's part one. So we all agree here that he has earned it. You don't want to call him Shahzada, but I would say, theek hai, he has earned it. So we agree on this point. Mr. Gandhi has earned it. Now there's another important thing which I want to talk about. Many people would say why this, but I think it's important because there's a visible change in his attire. He made a transition from a white t-shirt to kurta pajama. He made a transition from white t-shirt to kurta pajama. Now, this is image making. A lot of people felt that, why t-shirt? Rahul Gandhi posted an Instagram video arguing why he was wearing a t-shirt. He made a virtue of it. But today, he came out in kurta pajama. A lot of people say that, he's often inconsistent in how he looks. But as an LoP, I think he will have to go through the drill.
Well, Karthikeya, honestly speaking, since we have always seen politicians
like
wearing kurta pajama.
Gandhi, Barack Obama.
I agree. I'm just saying that we have been used to seeing this. When he took his oath as member of parliament, he was wearing t-shirt and it didn't look completely out of the place. I think it's more of the acceptance of the person, and then once the person is accepted in that particular set frame, then we don't bother to look into these trivial details and all. But I think today he looked the part. He didn't only acted the part, he looked the part. But and the kurta pajama, since it's a staple diet of Indian politicians,
I would slightly differ, because if you look at, I wish I could do a program. If you look at the way Kanshiram in his check shirt, Behenji in his salwar kurta, or Indira Gandhi in her saris, even Sonia Gandhi in her saris, Rajiv Gandhi with that shawl, Panditji with his rose and achkan, or Narendra Modi with his jacket, Atal Bihari Vajpayee with his dhoti, or Gujral Saab with his sherwani. So, Nikhil, are we going to see this kurta stay? Or it's going to be kurta in parliament and t-shirt outside?
I think that is what I would believe as well, that it will be t-shirt outside the parliament and kurta in the parliament. See, the post of a leader of opposition is a very formal post. It needs a certain dignity. I believe it needs a certain attire. Rahul Gandhi, since the Bharat Jodo Yatra, cultivated that image of being that politician who was connecting with the masses, who was not your typical average politician, but somebody who was willing to listen. I feel the symbolism of wearing something like a track pants and a t-shirt like he did, especially considering that he did walk 4,000 kilometers approximately. I think that was more suited then. But now when you're in the parliament, when you're the leader of opposition, I think a more formal attire, whether it's a Nehru jacket or a kurta or a nachkan, I think that's more suited, and we've seen the attire that Rahul Gandhi has chosen for himself.
Okay, fair enough. Now, as the leader of the opposition, Rahul Gandhi will be expected to be involved in day-to-day affairs of the House. He will have to be available to MPs, not only his own, but other political parties too. His interaction with the government will be official, frequent. Ministers will come to him. He will have to be available to them. There will be papers to sign and there will be papers to screen. Rahul Gandhi will need to be present in the House regularly. He will need to be in his room regularly. He will need to come out impromptu and speak. And being absent will be a big no. So, do you think that this is going to be a big change, Brijesh?
Well, I think, of all the attempts to reinvent Rahul Gandhi, Bharat Jodo Yatra has been the best one. And I have been articulating it or saying it right from day one, that this has changed Rahul Gandhi's personality. This has changed Rahul Gandhi's own perception of politics and how people in the rest of the world perceived him. I think if you look at his personality pre-Bharat Jodo Yatra and post-Bharat Jodo Yatra, he now comes across as a more committed, politician than he was before. And personally speaking, I see with him, becoming the LoP or agreeing to become the LoP is a marked change from the politician which we used to have, where, he would go on sojourns for like 10 days, 15 days, and the BJP will constantly make fun of it. I think every politician is entitled to his or her vacation. But yes, this acceptance of LoP post, I would say, is a clear acceptance of the fact of all the tasks that is before him.
Nikhil?
100% agree with Brijesh. 100% agree that Rahul Gandhi, since the Bharat Jodo Yatra, has been a changed politician. He's been a changed person when it comes to his public outreach. And now the allegations that the BJP leveled against him for 10 years, 15 years, despite the fact that he continued to fight for the people, whether it was during the land acquisition bill, whether it was, reaching out to the family of the Nirbhaya victim and all of that. But be that as it may, the point is that since the Bharat Jodo Yatra, nobody can question Rahul Gandhi's commitment to the people of India or his commitment to being an opposition politician and a voice of the people. And that is showing it. So I don't think there's anything that the opposition or anybody has to worry about, that Rahul Gandhi might not be in his
so there
home, or he might be on a long
graphics
vacation.
which we have made. Nikhil, wait a minute. There are graphics which I have made. I'll put them on full screen. The LoP challenge for Rahul Gandhi, we will go plate by plate. Now, this is the most important part of it. Let us play out the first plate. Let's play out the first plate of this graphic. Time management will be a challenge for Rahul Gandhi. As LoP, Rahul will have to devote sufficient time to the Parliament House. You both of us have covered. Let's stay on this first plate. Let's take this graphic out. Time management. Brijesh, time management, which means that he has to be in office by by 10:30 in his parliamentary office. Then he needs to attend the meeting. Then he needs to meet the other people. How will he do that? Because this is the first time. It will not be his time. It will be other people's time. He will also be managing.
So I think once you get into the groove, I think then it becomes all the more easy. It's not like as if he will find a hard time adjusting to the new realities. I think he in his mind he already has the way we saw the transition and all. I don't think that is going to be a problem. And more importantly, it's not like Parliament is happening throughout the year. He'll also have sufficient time to look into the organization. And why are we forgetting the two most crucial elections which are around the corner, which is Maharashtra and Haryana? So I would expect, like we have seen Prime Minister Narendra Modi and others also, Home Minister Amit Shah and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh doing, in between Parliament sessions, jetting out to address important political rallies and canvass for one's own party in the respective states where elections are to be held. So I don't see time management as much of a problem for
Nikhil,
Rahul Gandhi.
These are 5-point graphics. First is time management. How do you maintain your time, your party's time, opposition leaders' time, sometimes Mamta's tantrum time, sometimes left sulking time, sometimes, managing parties which are not aligned to you, meeting their leaders and just listening to them, staying put in that place till 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock. That is time, Parliament time. Nikhil, big challenge.
I think he won't. I think he won't face much issues doing that, because a lot of times when people say that Rahul Gandhi has not taken a government post, they tend to forget that he was the vice president of the Congress party between 2014 to 17, and then the president of the party between 17 to 19, during which time Congress party delivered massive wins in state elections, only to, of course, tank the victory curve during the Lok Sabha election. So it's not like managing time or meeting people from other parties is something that's new to Rahul Gandhi. We've seen how he's been performing with the India Alliance in the past 1 year. Despite so many bickerings between the different alliance partners, I don't remember a single time when any person from any political party said something against Rahul Gandhi.
Okay,
they may have had their qualms against other people.
This is not a debate. We are having a discussion. You can differ with me. These are the 5 things I have made. The second plate is, as at the same time, Rahul will need to focus on states where Congress where Congress has not done well, because he is the star campaigner. He is the star campaigner. So, Brijesh, the dichotomy, the problem. The man holds the key to the house from the opposition, but he's the star campaign. He's the glue which binds the Congress. How will he manage that?
Well, I think, we'll have to wait and watch as to, when the elections in Maharashtra and Haryana is announced. But as I said, we have seen Prime Minister, other important cabinet ministers do it. I don't think anybody in the opposition would mind if Rahul Gandhi jets off to Mumbai or say any other part of Maharashtra to campaign for the party or the India Alliance, for the Mahavikas Aghadi, if they ask him to. Jetting and, doing these rallies and all is not going to be much of a problem, because everybody is not going to be much of a problem, because, everybody knows that one of the most important substantial chunk of a politician's time is when he campaigns for the party and when he builds the structure of the party. That is non-negotiable,
Nikhil,
I guess.
The division of time between as a party and parliament, star campaigner as the leader of opposition?
Kartika, I feel that him being the leader of opposition will only increase his efficacy as a star campaigner. Let me quote that by example, that when we had the Manipur issue in the previous monsoon session of the parliament, even though Rahul Gandhi was not the leader of opposition at that point of time, but he was leading it. And that lead in the parliament did help him in the canvassing when he was going around in the state elections. Ki maine Manipur ki mahilaon ki awaaz uthai. Now he can keep on doing that again and again with all the issues that he raises in the parliament. So if anything, I think he'll be a more effective campaigner.
I agree with you. But then I think the biggest challenge is just not about the party. I think the biggest challenge is to keep the India coalition united from parliament to the streets. Brijesh.
I agree. And the interesting part of this question is, Kartike, that if you look at the fact that the biggest challenge for Rahul Gandhi will be to ensure, and we saw how, a call was made to Mamata Banerjee to make sure that both sides are on the same page as far as, this speaker election is concerned. There will be lot many such instances in which Rahul Gandhi had to really, apply all the skills he has to make sure that all the warring factions are on the one side. But interesting thing, Kartike, is that it's not only Rahul Gandhi who has to do this, management or do this, reaching out to varying factions. It is also Prime Minister Narendra Modi who is who has to learn to do the same thing, because it's only for the first time in his entire political career, ever since he became the Chief Minister of Gujarat, this is the first time when he's heading a fractured mandate. So I think, it's learning time both for Rahul Gandhi as to how to, to have a master class in reaching out to Mamata Banerjee's and, other important leaders of India Alliance, the same way the Prime Minister is going to do when he comes to meet somebody with the caliber of, say, a Nitish Kumar or a TDP, Chandrababu Naidu. So both are learning as far as this particular question is concerned.
So Nikhil, this is the biggest challenge. India united from parliament to the street. So one hand you will have the left, on the other hand you will have Mamata. This juggling will need to be done.
Kartike, I feel that a lot of people might think that this is the biggest challenge, and in some bits even I do feel that. But at the same time, I'm recalled of the fact that for the past 1 year, I've been going on news shows where every second day or third day the topic is, will the India Alliance survive? And to my own surprise, the alliance has survived wonderfully well. Not only did they contest the elections together, they have managed to stick together even after the elections, when honestly there is no direct political benefit out of it. The Congress party alone is good enough to have the leader of opposition. All the different parties are in their different state governments, but yet they're sticking together, whether it was with the constitution book, theatrics that the opposition did, or whether it was with the election of the speaker. And I think when something has gone through those many ups and downs, still sustained, I think it is going to persist for a long time to come. And I feel it will certainly be a challenge to bring on board all voices, all differing voices at one level, but not as big as a lot of people would like to.
Nikhil, if you look at his Lok Sabha record, there have been major absences. This time those absences will not be there. He will need to be present on the every day. I've covered Parliament from 2000, very actively 2021. Then the pandemic took the better of the Parliament reporting. And I realized one thing, even more than the leader of the House, the presence of the LoP is essential for anything to happen in the House. Even if you're not in the House, you have to be in the House. If you're not in the well or you're not in your seat, you have to be in the House. Isn't that, Nikhil?
I agree with you, and I think we've already gone over that earlier, in the sense that Rahul Gandhi today is a much more committed politician than he was earlier. I don't think we are going to see any significant absentation from the parliament. Of course, here and there would be there. He's a tall leader. He would have to go for a lot of campaign work and all of that. But I don't feel that Rahul Gandhi not being present in the parliament, whether in his chair or whether at his chair or in the well or elsewhere, I don't think that's going to be an issue this time around. Certainly.
Brijesh, because there have been major debates, occasions where Mr. Gandhi's absence was pretty visible. This time, and I'm saying because it is like, when we saw Rahul Gandhi in Bharat Jodo, he came out as a different person, consistent, and he was able to reinforce the image that he is consistent. In this is his first job in which he'll have to discharge constitutional duties.
I think he will do it. See, because the reason I'm saying is that, post Bharat Jodo Yatra, as I said, that, he's a completely changed person. People who would lampoon him for making, faux pas while speaking, or do this, English to Hindi translation, not being able to deliver it that effectively. People saw all that change, during the course of Bharat Jodo Yatra. The more people he interacted with, earlier it was said that, he's very hesitant to interact with people, doesn't interact with many people. Now he used to interact with thousands of people on, while walking and all. So I think, all that has completely changed Rahul Gandhi. And once, he's also aware of the fact that this is a do or die situation for the Congress party and for him as well, to be taken seriously as a politician. And going by, the consistency he's displayed in the last few months, I seriously doubt that we are going to see any major or radical departure from that position.
And lastly, his debates, his research have often been wanting in Lok Sabha. Impromptu speeches, As an LoP, there is a standard of speech. Sushma Swaraj, Sharad Pawar. I'm not sitting here on judgment, but that qualitativeness, the bar is very high, Nikhil. That bar is
Karthik,
really
I
high.
agree. Karthik, I agree, but to be very fair to the opposition and to Rahul Gandhi, I also feel that the quality of debates as a whole in the parliament has declined in the past 10 years. I don't expect any person in the leader of opposition space, or for that matter in the leader of the house's space, to be able to make a very qualitative speech when the moment you start speaking, the other side starts shouting, when there is sloganeering in the parliament. So if that is kept at a check, I think that would be, that would be a better setting for the people to see the speeches of the Prime Minister as well as Rahul Gandhi, who's now the leader of opposition. Also, to buttress my earlier points about his time management and his consistency, there's an interesting fact for your viewers that when the Bharat Jodo Yatra was happening, the Yatra, Rahul Gandhi and the people following him would walk once for 3-4 hours in the morning, then they would take 1 or 2 hour break, and then they'll again walk 3-4 hours. During that break time, when most other people would just rest or have their food, Rahul Gandhi used to hold an interaction with the local people or with, a select group like Swiggy riders or this or that. And that shows the consistency and the time management of the man, that after walking for 10-15 odd kilometers, you're still willing to meet the local people and, have a private discussion, while all the people who are your subordinates in the party, they are resting. So I feel for a person of that level of consistency and commitment, this job.
Nikhil,
And there's also one thing I would like to add.
The reason why I'm going into this, sorry, I just really want to make a point to both of you. Let's put both Nikhil and Brijesh on the screen. The reason why I'm saying this again and again is that I think people are missing the enormity of the movement. It's Rahul Gandhi as an LoP is not a small thing. Atal Bihari Vajpayee became LoP. Indira Gandhi became LoP when she lost elections. For first 1.5 decades you had no LoP because no party had numbers. And then you had Rajiv Gandhi as LoP. You look at the people who have been leader of opposition in this country. LK Advani was an LoP. Sushma Swaraj was an LoP. Sharad Pawar was an LoP. I mean to say, being an LoP of an house is not a small business. It's really, it's the enormity of the weight is on Mr. Gandhi's shoulder.
It is, but one very important point.
And there's a difference. And there's one more difference. He is LoP of Lok Sabha. Sorry, I'm not saying that there is a LoP of Rajya Sabha is lesser than the Lok Sabha. He is LoP of Lok Sabha with a person who has got the mandate. So he does not come in the category of Sushma Swaraj also. Because when you get a mandate, it's like LK Advani with 89 seats in 1990. And he behaves differently when he came, as a party president. So I'm saying that it's an enormity of the movement, which I think a lot of people are missing. Brijesh,
many people are missing, but I would also like to add one more thing, which we miss when we analyze this situation is, Karthik, I doubt if there is anything which is more ultimate, which eggs you on to, do more than, to take 25 hours of a 24-hour day is success. I think for the first time, Rahul Gandhi has personally tasted success, of which he was his own architect. Earlier they would be like, the party would want to do this, Rahul Gandhi is doing this. He's always seemed as a reluctant politician, not willing to walk the talk, say something and then, immediately go on vacation. Always being seen as an inconsistent and insincere person. But now for the first time, Rahul Gandhi has walked the talk, Rahul Gandhi has changed his image and he has tasted success. In Uttar Pradesh, he has tasted success by not punching above his waist and asking for weight and not asking for more seats, got the seats and the conversion ratio is much, much higher. And the fact of the matter is that he has been able to deliver, and that is the reason the confidence which you see on Rahul Gandhi is something which you have not seen Rahul Gandhi has behaved in the last 10 years.
Nikhil?
Absolutely, I agree with Brijesh. Also, I'm very cognizant of the fact that leader of opposition of the Lok Sabha is it's no small deal. While I am completely batting for the point that Rahul Gandhi would be able to manage the duties perfectly, but that's also goes on to say from my end that I believe Rahul Gandhi is a leader of that stature now. He is somebody you could compare to an Atal Bihari Vajpayee or a LK Advani or a Sushma Swaraj. And I completely agree that LoP of the Lok Sabha practically for me is the number 2. He may technically be in the order of precedence as the same as a cabinet minister, but I think he is the shadow prime minister. If there is one person who's more, next to only the prime minister, that is the leader of opposition, and that is the mantle of responsibility that Rahul Gandhi is now going to take. And certainly it will be an interesting fight this time around, I think.
Yes, absolutely.
It won't be the opposition
Absolutely.
of the past.
I think this is a game changer movement for Rahul Gandhi, but how he does that is just a different thing. Rahul Gandhi in Parliament, Rahul Gandhi at official functions at Hyderabad House, Rahul Gandhi at the President House. There are occasions in which he would be there as LoP. I remember in 2009 there was a huge controversy that when the two LoPs went, there were no chairs for them.
And most importantly, in the panels which select ED
panels
and CBI
which will select ED and CBI.
and
PM will have his way, and Mr. Gandhi will have his say.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's, PM's way and Rahul's say. But then finally, after 10 years, Lok Sabha gets a leader of opposition.
Helps beat sensitivity fast. Sensodyne Rapid Relief.
केसरिया